Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow checking in. And now we're gonna take you through the Snake Eyes workout.
Oh yeah!
You wanna know what it's like to be a ninja? We're gonna show you how.
Let's do it. Yeah.
It started with the banded kettlebell swings, and just like the G.I. Joes had the rubber bands, which you hope didn't snap inside their bodies, buff dudes have bands as well, but thankfully ours are a little more durable, so they're not gonna snap. And if they do, well, my torso is just gonna fall from my lower legs.
Ninjas need a lot of power in their glutes, a lot of power in their legs. They run fast, they jump high, and they do a lot of kicking just to kick some ass. So we're doing the kettlebell swings here. And I was really primarily working on the extension of your glutes, the extension of your hips, really powering your glutes and your hamstrings. And with the added resistance of the band, it makes it a little bit harder. So the difficulty level is Snake Eyes.
Oh, that's feeling good. And the great thing is with every exercise, there's many different alternate variations for each one. So if you don't have a band, you can just do the traditional kettlebell swings. And if you don't have a kettlebell, you can even do this using a dumbbell. So a lot of different options there, but if you do have the band and the kettlebell, highly recommend it. It's an excellent exercise to get started off.
Hudson kind of looks like the bad guy, the German bad guy that Snake Eyes would probably have like this epic battle in the end of the movie, because he actually killed Snake Eyes' fathers.
With this stereotypical 80s cartoon German accent.
The Snake Eyes will die by the hands of me! Single arm, landmine shoulder press. A little bit different, as you can see, it's a staggered stance there. You're really trying to make a straight line from your backward placed leg to the arm that's doing the pushing there. It's gonna be a slight twist in your trunk as you're doing it. Get a little bit of extra power in there. It's very explosive in the shoulder, and you're gaining not only a lot of strength, but power. It's gonna take a little bit more stability in the core because of your staggered stance, but it just feels really good. And of course, you know, ninjas, they do all the cool moves, right? And this is one of them.
This is for the scene when the government agent is just about to be assassinated, and right when you think the sword is gonna get him, Snake Eyes comes in with his. But you've been perfecting it with your landmine press, so you're ready to go. This is all the behind the scenes stuff that you just never think about.
The med ball slam. This is an amazing exercise for a few reasons. One of them is gonna be, it's gonna create a lot of power and strength in your hips. So it's not only gonna create endurance in the muscles, the power and the strength, but it's also gonna increase your cardiovascular system as well, because it's a constant movement, utilizing a lot of energy. And you know what? This kind of exercise, this motion, I feel like is basically the end of the movie. Snake Eyes, he's bloody, he's battered, his mask is ripped off. It's the end of the movie. The bad guy's laying there. He's like,
You and I, we're not so different.
and Snake Eyes is like, never! And he just fucking takes him and smashes him as hard as he can. You killed my father! You killed my brother! You killed my whole goddamn family! Now I'll kill you!
Get your goddamn aggression out exercise. Med ball slams. You're not gonna have a lot of breath after this one.
Damn, that's tough, but it makes you feel badass. This is the 1980s version starring Arnold. No! And then he like throws the thing and smashes the guy.
Arnold with Snake Eyes. And back in the 80s, everything was unpolitically correct, so they would say Arnold was like born in Taiwan or something.
The landmine 180s. Once again, using the landmine. And this one is really gonna be a lot in the core. As you can see, it's the twisting motion, your abdominals. I mean, you name it, there's a lot involved there. Even a little bit in your glutes and your shoulders as well. You're really twisting the torso back and forth. You wanna take a really wide stance. And you know, when you twist around, you can move the hips just slightly, so you can get a little power from the hips. Kind of pushing from side to side there. You're not going overboard. You still do want a pretty good twist in the torso as well. You want to keep that core really tight. Of course, utilizing the shoulder joint as well. Bring it back and forth. Those are a lot involved in this exercise.
As if taking Cobra Commander and slamming him over the head 80 times wasn't enough. Now we're just ragdolling him from side to side. I mean, we're beating the fuck out of Cobra Commander in this episode. I mean, you thought he was done dirty in G.I. Joe the movie, which was total bullshit, by the way. This is even worse. He just can't catch a break, man. It's that goddamn grating voice of his. It just gets to you, you know what I mean? Reciprocal alternating incline Dumbo press. That's quite a mouthful, but it's an excellent exercise focusing on the chest. Secondary muscle group worked is going to be a little bit of the anterior deltoid of the shoulder.
Those are a little more difficult than you would initially think. It's really working on the clavicular portion of the upper chest, of course, being an incline, as Hudson was saying, also the anterior deltoid and the triceps, but it's a lot in the core because when you're pushing, you know, in that reciprocal motion, as you push one side, your abdominal has to contract to keep your core stable and keep your torso flat against the bench. But then as soon as it contracts, you push it the other side, and then it's forced to immediately shift the focus to the other side to make sure your trunk isn't twisting back and forth as you're pressing the weight up. So there's a lot that goes on in this, and that's why you want to keep a nice wide stance to help secure you a little bit more. So that way as you're pushing, you can feel really solid.
You couldn't forget the chest because you got to look good in the costume, and Snake Eyes looks pretty damn good. So we're just trying to catch up with him, and I'm feeling us doing a pretty adequate job because we're feeling that chest pump. We've slammed Cobra Commander. We've ragdolled Cobra Commander from side to side. We've punched Cobra Commander reciprocally. Just that, you know, so one side of our body doesn't gain too much strength over the other. It's kind of a buff dude's thing. But he's still not dead. He did the classic. He gets up. He has one last dying breath. So now we're going to be moving on to banded ninja star throws to get our strength up so that we can take the ninja star. As he turns around, he's just about to get us. We throw the ninja star. Ooh. So we're going to be working on our triceps in this exercise, a little bit like a variation of a French press, of course, using a mobility band, gaining that strength and size in the triceps, but also, more importantly, getting ourselves ready for when we have to throw that ninja star at Cobra Commander.
That last slow-mo ninja star.
Do, 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 do. Just like that. The frame rate gets kind of choppy because they shot it in 24p, but then they, you know, slowed it down to like 8 frames a second, so it's that weird. Yeah, like that. Like Brand says, it's kind of a 90s thing. And as a kid, you're always like, oh god.
It's actually a new exercise technique. The 90s
exactly.
slow-mo rep.
The 90s slow-mo rep.
Notice in this workout we're using kettlebells, we're using dumbbells, we're using medicine balls, we're using bands, we're using bars, we're using everything, and that's what ninjas have to remember. They have to have all the weapons at their arsenal. They have to have a high level of training. They're utilizing strength, power, cardiovascular, I mean everything, you name it. It's the ninja workout. Snake Eyes!
We're not doing these because they benefit you in being a ninja in any way. We're just doing these because biceps are fucking cool. Yeah.
That concludes the Snake Eyes workout.
Hope you've enjoyed it. So now if you want to take out Cobra Commander, Serpentor, hell, even Skeletor, you've got the tools to make it happen.
Oh yeah. And you're gonna look buff as fuck while you do it. Till next time, stay buff.